I used to be a county judge, and back when I was a county judge, we started the budget process every year by first taking care of our county employees, making sure that their pay rate kept pace with the market. That was the very first thing we did. And if the state legislature, we in the state legislature, are serious about the policies that we pass every other year, then we've got to be serious about making sure that our state employees are paid at a market rate salary for the state public, for the actual implementation of those policies year round. State agencies are losing the competition to recruit and retain talented employees. They're losing the competition to the private sector and to local governments that are paying $10,000 to $20,000 more per year for those same job skills. Health and Human Service caseworkers' starting salary at the state is between $26,000 and $34,000. The Travis County starting salary for a caseworker is $45,000. State corrections officers' starting salary is between $36,000 and $48,000. The starting corrections officer for county jail, $50,000. Even food service workers earn more in the private sector, with state agency food service workers typically making about $31,000 a year. In-N-Out Burger is advertising $18 an hour as a starting salary, which comes out to $37,400 a year. We lose important institutional knowledge and talent when we refuse to pay people what they're worth. This contributes to backlogs and resources lost to those who need them most. Think, for instance, over this past summer, Health and Human Services was unable to distribute federal SNAP dollars for hungry kids because they didn't have the capacity. The vicious cycle of inadequate funding ends up costing us more as an agency, agencies turn to mandatory overtime. Many agencies are requiring 12 hours of minimum overtime per month, but many state employees report that they're actually completing up to 20 hours of overtime every week. Too many Texans are struggling to make ends meet, and that includes our state workers and our state retirees. Last session, the legislature passed a 5% raise, which did bring state worker turnover down to its lowest point in 14 years. But the turnover rate is still very high at 16.5%. If you are a private employer and you're seeing a 16.5% churn in your staffing, there is a problem. The $24 billion surplus is an invitation for us to finally lift state employees out of starvation wages and into living wages in one session. What Representative Busey and I are proposing is a $10,000 across-the-board pay increase for full-time employees. This is a flat dollar amount, and the reason for that is that our lowest paid workers are literally below the floor with regard to wage structure. So a $10,000 across the board for full-time employees, including university employees, which were left out in the 5% increase, will just barely bring them to the very bottom of their market for the skills that they bring to the state. So let's get serious about investing in our state public servants. Let's help us help them help Texans. Let's help the helpers.